Welcome to our latest chapter, Volume 1, Chapter 4 of our Perfect English Grammar tutorial. We're actually going to be taking just a quick recap of Chapters 1, 2, and 3, which are the previous videos to Chapter 4, just to kind of test your recall powers and increase the likelihood that you'll be able to remember many of the new vocabulary words, as well as start practicing some of the grammatical rules that we learned. We basically covered 18 grammar rules, possibly many more that were integrated into other types of sentences also. So a little bit over 18, but we have actually picked up quite a little bit of a vocabulary so far. So we just want to quickly cover some of the more key areas of vocabulary, and also this will help you to increase your recall ability for the exams. So if we took a quick look, we can take a look at some of these fill in the blank questions. Here we have: you may suffer an blank effect from this drug, and you can choose one of the options on the right side. So we have: my supervisor blank many requirements for 1 hour lunch. And then we have the gentleman in the restaurant had a wonderful blank. You went about doing your job with blank. One of the options on the right side fills into um, one of the sentences on the left. The owner of the restaurant was blank by meets quality. So we can actually see that you can actually apply the correct response to one of the sentences on the left hand side, and also we're going to be doing more multiple choice so that you can actually get into the format of the actual testing within the format for the TOEFL and the SAT. If we take a look at the fill in the blank questions with respect to Chapter 2, where we covered words such as autonomous and streamline, we can see here that examples are: the people of this island serve an blank government, and the answer would be on the right hand side. And then you have: the criminal was confident in his blank account of the event, and which one of the options on the right side would be a good fit for that question number 2. And then the question blank ended the search for the girl's body, and which option on the right side would be a good fill-in for that question number 3. And then we have: the judge will blank crime in the public school system, and the answer based on Chapter 2 is on the right side, and it would be a good fit for question number 4. And there we have: the jury voted for a $2 million settlement as a blank. And then we have the answer on the right side. And these were covered in Chapter 2, Volume 1 video. As we take a look real quickly at just a quick recap of Chapter 3, if any of these chapters are a little bit off for you, you can quickly return back to either one of them, Chapter 1, 2, and 3, to go over some of the word meanings. We covered quite a few of some of the words that we anticipate that are common that will actually show up on the TOEFL and SAT. We have compiled a list of over 500 words. We're hoping to actually go over each one in this video series, which will increase the likelihood of you doing better on the TOEFL and SAT English sections, respectively. So for a recap, for testing your recall powers for Chapter 3, looking at word meanings for such as allusion and to teaming, we take a look here and we can see questions that were in Chapter 3. The executive's attire was blank by her polished shoes. And of course the good fit is on the right side. That would be to fit in to question number 1 there. For another recall, the cashier was annoyed by the customer's blank ranting, and a good fit will be on the right side. That would be a good fit for that question number 2 on the left side. And we take a look at question number 3. The breach of the dam was blank, and the option possible answer is on the right side, and that would be a good fit for by the heavy rainfall. So question number 3, the breach of the dam was blank by the heavy rainfall, and that's directly from our chapter 3 review. For question number 4, the cashier had a very blank reaction to the customer, and the option is available as reviewed in chapter 3 on the right hand side. That would be a good fit. And then for chapter 3, also, due to climate change, the pond was blank with algae, and the option is available on the right hand side. So as we go into this series, we're going to be covering a lot more vocabulary, many hot words, possible words that will be appearing on the TOEFL and the SAT, and also we're going to incorporate a review of different grammar rules that we covered in chapters 1, 2, and 3. So chapters 1 and 2 and 3 are very, very important going forward. Definitely recommend that you take a look at them. So as you increase your vocabulary with this series, then you're going to be actually looking at different options as far as incorporating that vocabulary that you're acquiring and learning, integrating into your lifelong set of words that you'll be able to call upon, whether it be in business or whether you're on the job or just in everyday conversation. Will allow you to increase your range as far as your ability to for just everyday communication and expression. So if we look at today's set of vocabulary, we can see here abrupt is the first word. Usage, the aid for the people of Africa came to an abrupt end. Adjective meaning come to an end, cease, and stop. And as always, we are always focused on synonyms with this series. So a synonym for abrupt could be sudden, with an adjective quick, adverb abruptly, and a noun abruptness. So we're actually going to be taking a very, very close look, as always, with each chapter, how we can associate the word with its synonym. As always, we always want to remind our viewers to start with a simple index card where you increase the number of cards in your shuffle. And we can see here that we have definition on one side, and then we have the synonym on the other side of the card, and that will allow you to make the association. So when you actually are taking your test, they will actually throw many synonyms at you, so you'll actually know not only the definition of the word but also its meaning. If we take a look at the next word on our list is albeit. So usage, albeit he was walking for 6 hours, he was able to get home. And we have the meaning, despite or in spite of the fact. And we have a synonym which will be although, and a conjunction would be in spite of, meaning would be possibly in spite of. And then we have ambiguous usage. The hostage negotiator received an ambiguous message. Adjective meaning something that is not clearly understood or unclear. So our next next group of words that we're going to be reviewing and putting into practice would be aptly. And if we take a look at aptly usage, criminals had aptly caused havoc and mayhem in the town. Adverb meaning predisposed to doing something, likely tendency or tendency to do. Also, we have astute usage. As a tennis pro, he was an astute player with a great forehand. Adjective meaning smart or very clever or exact or intelligent. And then the word convey usage. I was able to convey to him the gravity of the situation. Verb meaning to make others aware of something. So as we increase our vocabulary, we'll be able to call upon and create different scenarios of usage, which will allow us to increase our recall powers with this series as we go into these exams. Next set would be eloquent. So eloquent usage. The host was able to eloquently express his love for his wife. Adverb meaning effectively express with clarity. And the word hue usage. The website designer tried hard to describe the hue of the sky. Noun meaning the color of something. Our next word would be limber usage. The acrobat was able to perform the circus act very well because he had such a limber body. Adjective meaning easily shaped or stretched or flexible. With respect to the word eloquent, that would be a synonym would be articulate. Hue would be color would be a good synonym, and limber would be a good synonym would be flexible. And also, just make a note for the synonyms for aptly would be appropriately, and ambiguous was vague, and astute was perceptive. So please keep in mind that as we create more and more shuffle cards, as you go through each chapter, you'll be able to keep these shuffle cards with you, and you'll be able to constantly reference them, which was going to increase your ability to recall the meaning of the word. So each word is going to be very important as we approach our list of 500 words that are commonly appearing on the TOEFL and SAT. And this will allow you to increase your ability to quickly recall the word, quickly recall its synonym, as well as meaning. Possibly even it may even appear on the exam as an adjective or an adverb or even a noun. So we also try to highlight the fact that this word may appear in a lot of different forms. So if we look at overtly, we can see usage. The disruptive student overtly disregarded the regulations of the high school dress code. Adjective meaning completely out in the open, not concealed at all. And overtly, a synonym would be openly. Adverb, in a way that is clear, and an adjective would be just overt. And then synthesis. Synthesis will be expressed in a number of different ways. Usage. Many dialects that are spoken in the Caribbean are a synthesis of Dutch, English, and Spanish. Noun meaning a mix of many things or a contribution of elements. Synonym combination. Adverb synthetically, or verb synthesize. And then we have the word wanton, and this can be very confusing for some people, especially for learners of this program who may not, where English may be their actual second language, because there's another word, wonton, which and other words that are very similar to wonton that have different meanings. So the usage, the student showed wanton disregard for authority in class. Adverb meaning diligent or none, or done without any regard or consideration. So the word wanton fits into that group of cinnamon and synonym. And we'll actually go through in this series looking at the associations of very, very similar sounding words, such as the two groups I just mentioned earlier, so that we will increase the awareness of our students, especially those where English is a second language. So these distinctions and simple vernacular nuances of the English language are a little bit hard to grasp. So we actually take a look at these types of words, also their common association, and with wanton, the synonym would be senseless, And then adjective would be done without thought, and adverb wantonly. So we're going to take a closer look at various vernacular nuances of the English language. Also, we're going to take a closer look at how modern business English is spoken, various types of phrases that may appear on the TOEFL and SAT. These are phrases that are commonly used in everyday American business English, or even everyday American communication. May not have exactly sophisticated words as the ones that we're covering in this series, which will increase from which will eventually increase from relative um, ease to more difficulty and complexity. So we'll actually take a lot of different aspects and take a look at different aspects to the English language, so that you can increase your awareness of all the different um, types of questions that they may throw at you on these exams. So we surely hope and sincerely hope that these chapters are working for you. We've actually linked them together, you can actually go back to chapters 1, 2, and 3 at any time to review many of the actual usages of the usage of any of these words. And as you already can see, that we're going to be increasing your overall vocabulary with each chapter, and eventually the words will become more difficult, which will actually allow you to test your recall powers for the exams. And we'll do recall sessions as well as multiple choice questions, as well as fill in the blanks, which will allow you to retain your memory of these words going into exams, whether the exam is in a month, 2 months, or even 6 months from now, or even after. Usage of the word will actually, in a sentence or a paragraph, combined with the use of multiple choice or fill in the blank, even combined with the shuffle that we recommend you do, where we use an index card coupled with the definition on one side and a synonym of the word on the other side of the card. These are all different techniques which are going to help you to have a stronger command of the English language going forward. We sure hope that you are enjoying this series, and we will commit to bringing you as many chapters and volumes as possible, so that you have a real solid command of English grammar, whether you need it for your job, for school, or just everyday life. And we hope that you're enjoying this series going forward. As always, thank you for tuning into Bound News Network for our latest edition, Volume 1, Chapter 4 of Perfect English Grammar. And we hope that you have a spectacular day, and thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.